Hi, my name is Digna Reyes, and I'll be doing part 5 of the data preparation. The first code we will create is the female indicator. The indicator is generated by assigning a value of 1 to rows where the person's gender is female, and 0 if otherwise. We utilize the np-where function from the NumPy library to get this result. Next, we will fill out the details on episodes. The number of episodes we will create a new function, getEpisodeCount. We will use the same person ID. We will also use medication as substitute for depression episodes. The medication should have ended before the current medication trial. If there is no history, it will return as 0. Next, we will arrange based on earliest start date. This will let us know if there are any rows that are overlapping. If there are overlapping, we will count as 1 episode. If there is no overlap, it will indicate that a new depressive episode has started. Next, we will initialize episode count equals 1. This variable is being set to 1. It's used to keep track of the number of episodes. It starts at 1 because if there's at least 1 row in the previous episode data, it means that there's at least 1 episode. Current start data equals none. This variable is set to none, which means there's no specific date assigned to it yet. It will be used to store the start date of the current episode. Current end data equals none. Similar to the previous variable, this one is also being set to none, indicating no specific date assigned. It will be used to store at the end date of the current episode. Lastly, we will count the episodes. This code is going through each episode in the previous episode's data and counting how many distinct episodes there are based on the start and end dates of each episode. It keeps track of the start and end dates of the current episode and updates them as it goes through the data. Store episode history count data. This code adds a new column called num episodes to the analysis df table, which calculates the number of episodes for each row utilizing a function called getEpisodeCount. It then displays the first 20 rows of the table, including the newly added num episode. Check count and create function for remission history. We will check if the count is correct to check if we have the correct logic. The code filters the data frame analysis df to include only rows where the person's ID is the one above. It creates a new data frame named testdf with these filtered rows, sort the rows in testdf based on the earliest add start column, and finally displays the sorted data frame testdf. To create a remission, we will use the similar code as the episode history. This function looks at the person's medical history, previous episodes, and counts how many times they have achieved remission before the current trial started. If there's no history, it returns 0. This code adds a new column called num remission to the data frame analysis, where each row value is calculated by applying the function getRemissionCount to the corresponding row of analysis df. The resulting data frame analysis df is then displayed showing the first 20 rows with the newly added none remission column. We will once again repeat the process to check if our code is correct. Now we will count the previous episode. If they are empty, there is no previous antidepressant and it will return 0. If it's not empty, we count unique number of antidepressants, which is what unique stands for. We will call them non-antidepressants. This code calculates the number of unique antidepressants taken by each individual in the previous episodes using getAddCount function and assigning these counts to a new column named num antidepressants in the analysis df data frame. It then displays the first 20 rows of the updated data frame with the newly added num antidepressant column. Lastly, this code creates a new data frame called testdf by filtering the rows from the data frame analysis df, where the person ID is equal to the one above. Then it sorts the rows in testdf based on the earliest add start column, arranging them in ascending order from the start date of the earliest antidepressant trial for the person with the following person ID. Finally, it displays the sorted data frame testdf. Thank you for watching.